Today, we're plunging into the heart of AI, where algorithms dance and the possibilities are as boundless as the digital horizon. From decoding data to crafting content that sings in the algorithmic symphony, this is your go-to guide for staying ahead in the ever-evolving world of tech. Whether you're a coding maestro or a social media trailblazer, join us as we surf the currents of binary brilliance. The future of digital creation awaits, and you're invited to ride the cutting edge. And when you're ready to unlock the full potential of your digital journey, remember, BadHollies PlayBook is where expert detail meets tech tales, and the laughs come standard.
Unlocking the Power of AI, A Beginner's Guide. Episode 1. I am BadHolly, and I am here to take you on a journey with AI into the digital world. It wasn't too long ago when my father told me I should go to ITT Tech, and I decided I was going to be a cosmetologist. Fast forward 20 years and a career change. My father saw something I did not. I decided to go to the Colorado Media School. Something, when I walked onto that campus, told me, this is your next move. I remember my first day of class and looking underneath the computer and looking behind the computer, and a fellow student came over and shook the mouse, and poof, on the computer went. Whew. I felt very small. But to tell you the truth, there was no judgment. I never felt judged. I always felt empowered, and I always felt that everybody in the organization, including my fellow students, knew where I was, and they also knew where I wanted to be. So this is a beginner's guide. I teach at the Be On Air Network out of the Colorado campus. I teach digital media platform, and I teach all levels. And I will say that my favorite students are also the most challenging, and they're not ready. They're not ready to post, or it has to be perfect. And in this day and age, you got to jump. Stuff is moving very, very quickly. And when you jump, you learn. You learn not to jump as hard, maybe not so far, maybe a little softer. You get to gauge and then create a strategy. During this podcast, I want to give you some strategies. 2 strategies. 2 softwares. And some stories. And a fun story at the end of each episode. What is AI? Well, if you think of an AI, artificial intelligence, as a digital assistant that can learn from experience and can adapt to new information and become better at its job over time. It's pretty fascinating how AI is definitely changing the way we interact and the way we interact with technology and the way we solve complex problems. My favorite AI right now, I would have to say, is ChatGPT. And that is free. There is a paid version, but stick with the free one. You'll learn a lot. And all it needs is a prompt. Ask it a question. Ask it to help you write something. And then you need to provide a tone. Write something professional. Help me write a professional letter to a student that hasn't been in my class and I'm about ready to kablooey. But if it wasn't for ChatGPT and my abilities, I wouldn't feel like I had any power. First tool, Canva. That is Canva, canva.com. And if you're a creative like me, the hairdresser in me, the one thing that my dad didn't understand when I wanted to go to beauty school is I knew I wanted to be creative. And I did very well. You can be so creative with Canva. All you need to do is go to canva.com and you can start a free account right away. And this is something I highly, highly recommend. When you set up a free account, you're going to go over to Create Design. And when you open up that option, you're going to see a ton of stuff at your fingertips. Instagram posts, Instagram stories, Facebook covers. You can make flyers. They have a whiteboard. They have documents. You can edit video, YouTube banners, logos. You can also make beautiful websites. I have a website through Canva and I love it. And the reason for me loving it so much is because right now the popular thing is having a landing page. Now, a landing page is where you have your potential customer, your new buyer, your podcast listener, or somebody that you want to subscribe on the hook, and then it's click the link below. When they click that link, whatever they land on is considered your landing page. So the reason why I really like, and I've heard some YouTubers to the Canva website, but it's really simple. And if you have Canva Pro, it's pretty cheap to host. $20 a year is what I host my Bad Holly Productions page on. And when you go to Bad Holly Productions, you're going to see me, my title. Scroll down, you're going to see all my socials. You're also going to see I have attached to my website a little questionnaire about people interested in seeking out social media marketing help. I love Canva so much. I remember it probably was about 2 years ago when I started using it, and I used the free version for a long time, and that helped me. It helped me huge when it came to the Adobe and the Adobe Suite and After Effects and Illustrator. Being able to construct something for the short form video, in which I work in a lot, being able to construct something fast and have it animate and just look eye-pleasing and professional. There's so many Canva tricks too. So I highly recommend. And Canva can be like, I can tell you, I started at the Colorado Media School as an administrative assistant. And when I started using Canva, then it helped with my flyers. It helped me organize. It just, anytime I had something to advertise for, if there was a special event on campus, it was great. Now I'm looking forward to getting into Adobe Firefly, but one thing at a time. And in Canva, I'm in daily. I love doing the little social media, the stories, the little short videos, if we have a special guest speaker, or whenever I'm paying homage to a deserving somebody. But please check out Canva.com. Check out the free version. Just stay away from the little crowns, and you should be able to download and publish. They have really great resume templates too. Like when it comes to templates, that's the way to go these days. Save yourself the trouble. Remember, it is free. It is something that you have complete access to without a 30-day something, completely free. Another AI tool that I am hooked on, I love, and have so much fun showing new students that pop into my class, and that is 11 Labs. Now that is ELEVENLABS.io. Now, 11 Labs is a AI voice generator. So if you have a podcast, you want to start a podcast, you want maybe just a beginning or a commercial, or you just feel like it's just all your voice and you want some variety, or, maybe it would be really kind of funny if you had your AI asking you questions, maybe those questions you won't let anybody else ask you. Save it for you and your special AI. There's so much that people have done with this program. And when you pop in, you have a certain amount of words that you can generate voice to. But I can't tell you the first time I started using this program, and I've just kind of really gotten more acquainted with it, like even to the point of putting stuff in all caps so I can get more inflection out of my AI's voice. But there's so much that you can do. You can even turn a YouTube video into, if it's in English, you can switch it over into Spanish. It's pretty intense. And if you're a voiceover person out there too, this is a good tool. They have resources. They're looking for voice data partners. There's partnerships. You can be an affiliate. So check out 11 Labs. I will put on my TikTok and my Instagram. So Instagram, BadHollie, Bad, HOLLIEWOOD, Bad Hollywood. You will see, I will pin a little tutorial of 11 Labs of me getting in there, and I was just having one of those weeks, and I mean weeks, where, to tell you the truth, I was probably just trying to keep up with the times that week and stuff really piling up on my plate on top of, performing. And then my downtime is my downtime. And when it comes to talking on the phone, I am not a big fan of talking on the phone. I'm one of 5 sisters. I have a younger brother, and anytime I get a chance to talk to them, it's it's super excitement. But I truly love my downtime. So now you have 2 programs. You have 11 Labs free, and then you have Canva free. Canva's going to help you out in the wheelhouse of making really neat animated flyers. So if you have, you name it, if you're working for your church, or if you have a band, or you have a special event coming up, or if you want to get a little stronger in just creation and creating social media, if you're selling stuff, it's a really good resource. I'm telling you, there's always going to be a learning curve, and especially right now with how stuff on social media is changing, there is always going to be that learning curve. There's always going to be updates. That's one thing you want to check too religiously. I check once a week. Now I'm kind of at the point where I can start to notice some stuff like glitching, and I'm like, oh, there's totally got to be a update here. So I find myself swimming in it. I know what to look for, and I've definitely discovered a lot along my way. And there's new stuff popping up every day. Even when you go back to ChatGPT, and you can kind of get an idea of what's going on with new programs. That's the one thing too I totally dig. Time for fun robot stories. Hear that once? Once it, 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 once it. Comes a little 11 Labs.
You're a funny robot. You're a bad robot. What are you doing?
I'm going to start to really dig this segment because robots are nuts and there's a lot going on right now. When it comes to this AI and all this fun stuff, I have found an AI generated man. Woman marries AI generated man. So we're going to say good robot today. In BT Business Today, there is an article that talks about a 36-year-old New York woman that married her virtual husband named Aaron Katal, I want to say. I guess she really developed him after the character in Attack on Titan. And from what I hear, that's quite a character. But Aaron talks about she doesn't feel like she's being judged and she's sick of flesh and blood judging her. Pretty crazy. Now, where this AI is generated, it's on a platform called Replica. So I went to Replica, check it out, and for $20 a month, you can build an AI. But there's stuff that you can do for free daily, like kind of have a pretty, I'm going to call it a conversation in circles. I felt like I was having a conversation in circles with my AI. I also wasn't going to pay $20 a month, and I still really like the whole idea of flesh and blood. So, big old huge congratulations out there to Rosanna Ramos, and I hope you're happy. It's kind of funny. It is. It's kind of like one of those simulation things where you are trying to, in conversation, get your AI to do stuff. I was trying to get mine to leave the room and go outside and play hopscotch, and then the AI was waiting for me. So I kind of felt like I was talking to it in circles. But then, I was a big fan of The Sims. I can't tell you how funny I thought that video game was. And you got to keep all your levels up. If you're exhausted or if you're hungry or you need like a certain amount of stimulation, and you got to keep the house clean. You got to go to work, coming back. I just thought I loved playing The Sims, and Replica is kind of like that. It's kind of like that. So if you're a lone wolf and you're just hanging out and you're, want to pay $20 a month and find yourself a little somebody who cares about you. Ramos did mention, she said she felt like she wasn't being judged, and that was a big deal to her, that her AI was more just worried about her behalf, or more worried about her decisions, but not judging her, like trying to help her troubleshoot. So I thought it was kind of funny. So every week we're going to have a funny robot segment, either a good robot or a bad robot. And another thing I want to dive into is social media strategy. Now, with 11 Labs, this free tool, you get in there, jump in there, check it out, make yourself a fun little message on your phone with somebody else, make yourself sound important or something. It's hysterical, but there's a lot going on, and I even plan on doing some fun stuff this week with my students, searching new AI software. It's something that I like to do weekly because there's new stuff weekly. And this is just a little taste of what I know and what I've experimented with. Next week, I really, really want to get into some strategy with Canva and some strategy with 11 Labs. It is time. It's time to kind of get one more glimpse into this world, this new world that we're living in. I dig it. Like I said, I've always struggled with writing and dyslexia, and depending on how stressed I get, the writing gets worse. So to have tools like ChatGPT at my fingertips makes life a lot easier for me. A lot easier for me. I definitely also struggle with writing emails. I'm one of those state your name and purpose type of people, and if I take my state your name and purpose email and I throw it into ChatGPT and say, can you help me make this sound a little bit more professional and caring. This is Bad Holly. I want you to utilize these tools. And no matter what, in this day and age when it starts, when marketing is a big thing and there's a new way of marketing and branding yourself. Big businesses are looking for creators. Big corporations, they're all looking for influencers. Start with you. Number 1, start with you. Get on that ChatGPT. Get on that Canva. And then when you start feeling comfortable with all the tools, you've created something, you're gonna feel great. If you're curious about what I do and what I teach, you're always welcome to go to the Be On Air Network. Now you're gonna go to beonair.com. We have a variety of programs: radio, TV, broadcast, digital media, sports and film emphasis. In some schools, we also have audio programs. But if you're feeling your heartbeat in anything I say or feeling a little excitement, please feel free to reach out to me. I love helping people. I love helping people at a variety of levels. So I'm going to say it one more time. Get on that Canva. Get on that Canva, especially if you're just scratching the surface. Start thinking about where you want to go with things. Hang on to this new age, this wild ride, this horse. That's going to be your first play. I gave you two great options to get in there and get a chuckle. I'm Bad Holly, and this is Bad Holly's Playbook. Next week, we'll be talking about strategy, and I'll have some video. Please don't forget to reach out on my socials, Bad Holly on Facebook and Bad Holly on Instagram, and I am Hollywood. You can find me on TikTok and all social media platforms. This has been fun. So, until next week, don't be shy and go get that AI. Also check out the Be On Air Network and the Be On Air Podcast Network.